There's a new game sweeping the internet. It's simple and you can play it quickly. Best of all, there's only one new game per day, so it can't suck you into that endless drain where you say you're only going to play one round or one hand, and 2 hours later, you're still there playing. Join me while I show you how to play Wordle. Welcome to Accounts Payable Soundbites, the program where we share tips and explain simple and complex accounts payable issues in short, concise sound bites. I'm Mary Schaefer, AP Now's founder, the place where you go for the latest business intelligence if you work in, manage, or have responsibility for the accounts payable function. Now, today we're going to talk about something a little different. We're going to talk about Wordle. So let's get started. I'm really excited about this. I'm going to change the view a little bit, and here we go. So Wordle, what's Wordle? So for starters, okay, Wordle is a new game. It's sweeping the internet. They release one new hand, if you will, or episode a day, and the old ones don't show. So you can't go down that rabbit hole, and it only takes you a few minutes to play. You can find this on the internet at www.powerlanguage.co.uk/Wordle/. Now, this was developed apparently by two either coders or engineers during lockdown. And so there's no advertising. You'll see it's very bare bones. Okay, so let's move on. So how do you play? You have basically 6 chances to guess the right word. And it's easier than it seems. And the rules that you have to remember, pretty simple. A green means you got the right letter in the right spot. If you get a yellow, it means you got the right letter, but you're in the wrong spot. And gray means wrong letter and wrong spot. And again, there's your website. So let's see what's going to happen. So you go to www.powerlanguage.co.uk.wordle, and you'll see something like this. I told you, bare bones, no advertising. Now, the first time you go there, you may see some little instructions, and you'll just hit the X and it'll close it out, and then you'll be faced with something like this, which will have today's game. And so what you're going to do is you're going to type in the first row a word that you think, will get you started to guessing whatever the right word is. And as you can see, you'll have 6 chances. So you want to pick a word that has a lot of the common letters. And so for me, I picked, as you'll see, stare. And so S-T-A-I-R. You might also want to put in a word that has an E in it. So I was considering T-H-E-I-R. But I picked this and I typed it in. But typing it in isn't enough. You have to make sure you hit that enter key there, okay? So once you hit the enter key, it will tell you whether you're right or wrong. And so you can see in this that when I put stare in, I had one letter correct. So I've used up one of my 6 chances. S is the right letter, and I put it in the right place. So now what am I going to put in the second row? Well, I don't want to use those letters because they are no good. So I wanted to focus on C's and E's, and I put the word check in. And as you can see, when I hit enter, I got all grays because check was not a good word. Okay, so I ruined one of my chances. So what am I going to do next? Well, we want to focus on vowels. I've already used A, E, and I, and none of them were useful. So I think I'm going to have a U or an O, possibly a Y. So I used the word bloom. And you can see that in this round, I got an L in the right place and an M. Now let's focus on that M for a minute. What that M means is that it's the right letter, but it's not the last letter in the word. So I looked at this and I said, okay, S-L are the first 2 letters. That M is probably in the 4th spot. So it's probably going to be S-L something, M something. So I think it's going to be a vowel, and I want to go with a U. It might be a Y, but I'm going to go with a U because I have A-E-I-O, and none of them were correct. So I went, and in my next round, I typed in, well, first I typed in slummy. I wanted to see if that would work. And you see, when I hit enter, I got a little note that said, that's not a real word. Okay, now before I tell you what I did next and how we're going to finish up, I'd like to invite you to subscribe. It's free, completely private, and you can unsubscribe at any time. And by ringing the bell next to the subscribe button, you'll be notified when we post new accounts payable content. We usually don't post games, although this is kind of fun. And we do that 2 or 3 times a week. And by the way, you don't need to have a YouTube account to subscribe. You can subscribe if you have a Gmail account. Okay, so slummy did not work, okay? So I have to find a word that's a real word because I can't just guess. And I came up with the word slums. In this case, I put the SLU. I tried my M out in that 4th spot, and I put M, and I put the S in, and it told me, no, it's not slums. Guess again, Mary. And so I went, and my next try, I'm going to give you a few seconds to see what you would have put in. And what I put in was slump. SLUMP, and that turned out to be the right word, so I didn't have to go any further, although I would have had one more chance if I had gotten it incorrect. So I think it's kind of fun. Then when you finish, they give you your statistics. As you can see here, I've played this game twice. Once I got it in 5 rounds, once I got it in 6, and they give you a link there that you can share if you're so inclined on your social media, or on your Facebook page, on Twitter, Instagram, whatever social media that you are participating in. Apparently that's a very popular thing to do. New to me, but a lot of things are new to me. Alrighty, so now that we've had some fun, I'd like to get a little bit more serious, just a tiny bit for 1 minute. If you've heard me talk on more than one occasion, you probably realize that, like many professionals, I'm very concerned about fraud, especially the fraud that impacts many professionals at work, especially accounts payable professionals. That's why we made a video entitled, "Can You Spot the Phony Email Address?" If you haven't done so already, I'd like to invite you to play along. On YouTube, a link will appear momentarily to the left. It's Soundbite 40. And as always, your comments, your thumbs up, and your subscribes, and your shares are greatly appreciated. Good luck.